Lovely Leo, it's your cosmic auntie here, and this is going to be your monthly tarot reading for July. This is for Leo energy, so you could be a Leo sun, moon, rising. Maybe you're exploring unique placement of Leo in your chart or an aspect to Leo. Maybe you're really feeling your fire energy lately and are exploring that. Or however this video has found you, I'm just glad you're here. Please stay if you would like to. Yeah, Leo, I guess I am recording this in Cancer season, but this could find you in your birthday season because, well, July. So happy pre-birthday. I hope that your season brings you so much warmth, abundance, and joy. Because you just bring that into the world. You're bringing that into every single thing that you do, Leo. So thank you for being you. All right, let's jump in. There's a couple things actually before I want to shuffle the cards, and that is, first of all, we're both going to be using our intuition. So tune into yourself, tune into your own inner guidance, okay, Leo, as you pay attention to the video. Check in with yourself, see what resonates, what doesn't, okay? When a message resonates, you'll just know. Tarot's never supposed to tell you something that you don't already know. So even if it's not something you've articulated with words or written down quite yet, it's still a sensation that you'll recognize, okay? So never give your power away. You know yourself best. I want my readings to feel like you're sitting with one of your favorite aunts and you're just like gonna hash out the energy. You feel comfortable, you feel safe. This is a space where you'll be encouraged and validated, and seen in the best way that I know how. Okay, Leo? Another thing too, and I did this with Cancer, is inviting you into the visual that I received while I was tuning the cards to your energy. So if you feel called to, please, Leo, take a deep breath with me and visualize the most luscious fern leaf. Okay, light is coming through the fern leaf. You can see like all of the detail, all of the leaves, and all of the little dots, okay, right? Like on the fern leaf. So visualize that beautiful vision, a green, lush fern leaf, okay? And then the visual pulls back and it's giving us a vantage point of a fern grove. So there's just so many fern groves. So it's this up close of the leaf, and then it pulls back into this visual of this beautiful, lush grove of ferns, okay? So Leo, I have been sitting with this image for a while because I just could sense that there's so much to learn from the fern, and so through your energy, Leo, you've taught me a lot about the fern that I didn't know, so thank you. I learned that ferns are like predate dinosaurs. They're so old, they're so ancient. They're over like 400 million years old or something, and there's just so many different varieties of fern as well. They've also captivated our ancestors across cultures, across the world in many ways, because they don't have seeds and they reproduce in a way that's unique to the fern, which we now know is because of spores. But before we knew that, it still has this deep mysticism to it. The fern has everything that it needs to carry itself forward into like time. So yeah, there's this mystery around the fern in many tales because of its unique way of reproducing. nobody really knew how it reproduced because there's no seeds, right? So if you feel like it, do a fun deep dive of the fern. Google it, because it was very enjoyable to learn about the fern cross-culturally. And then for you, Leo, it just really gives me this feeling of like feeling of this individual within the collective, right? The fern has everything that it needs to reproduce itself. It has everything it needs to take care of itself. But then with this vision, we're looking at this grove of ferns, of all of these individual ferns together, creating a space, creating a grove of ferns, and influencing each other in ways that we probably don't even know, because the plant world, we are not as awake to the plant world as the plant world is awake to us, right, Leo? So it gives me this like really a strong sensation within your energy that there's this really clicking into place of your abilities, your position and your importance here on earth, and your legacy. There's a certain aspect in this energy in regards to legacy. So keep that fern image in mind as we tap into the energy and we see what the cards reflect, okay? Let's see what's coming up for Leo. The Wheel of Fortune. Ooh. I love that. It was just this like tidal wave of energy there. I keep hearing the word momentum. There's a certain gust of energy backing something that's about to shift into the next gear. What else is coming up for Leo? Ooh. Let's see. Okay, so we have the King of Pentacles. We have the Tower. And then we have the King of Wands, which is your energy, which actually came out several times as I was shuffling the cards for you, Leo. So you're very much like, hello, it's me, I'm here. And I love that. So it feels, okay, so what I'm sensing from what's being reflected from the cards here is that there's like a cataclysmic event that maybe changed certain things in your like material environment, the way that you either like go about like making your money, or something, you know, like having to use something with savings, or a different shift in your business, something like that. There's something that, like, the Tower is kind of quick, almost like shocking change. It can be like rug pulled out from you and like energy, and it's often uncomfortable and like frantic. There can be like frantic energy involved. So is this sandwiched between the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands. So ultimately, whatever has happened, all the change that you've experienced thus far, and the way that it influenced your livelihood and your plan of creating your livelihood and bringing abundance to take care of yourself, you and yours, whatever that is, whatever that has been, ultimately has brought you home to yourself more. There's a profound like wisdom and maturity in your energy, Leo, in response to change, in response to that rug being pulled out from you kind of energy. That I can tell with the two kings here has happened in your life before, and you have responded and you have recovered. And that's probably happened many times, right, Leo? With the Wheel of Fortune here, yes, that has happened many times. There's constant fluctuation and change and chapters and endings and beginnings and the in between, the meet, the experiences between the endings and the beginnings, right? Yeah. So going back to that fern image, the fern has experienced so much. Like the fern has been here before dinosaurs. The fern has experienced dinosaurs. The fern has been around when dinosaurs were extinct. The fern has been around, and the fern will be around. The fern is confident in its ability and its knowledge that it'll be around. It's done what it needs to do over time, and also is adaptable moving forward to doing what they need to do in order to survive and thrive. The fern is in its power. The fern has everything that it needs in order to, thrive, survive and thrive. And so I sense, Leo, like that is something within this energy, like you have everything that you need to survive and thrive, as well as the openness to the learning and to the accumulation of tools you don't even know you have yet. It's like this energy of like knowing you got yourself now, as well as knowing that you're even going to have yourself even more as you progress through life, and as you keep like tapping into your strength and in your fortitude and in your like tenacity to build and create and express yourself authentically. So interesting, Leo. Interesting. And okay, so in the beginning of the reading, when the first card came out, the Wheel of Fortune, there's like this tidal wave, this gust of energy backing something, and it kind of taps into that word legacy that I was mentioning in the beginning of the video. So I sense that a lot of you maybe have been working on something, building something, working on your career, your home, or all of the above, your business, all of it. And there's a certain like energy that's about to shift it into next gear. And as that is about to, like, as that's happening, often I've noticed is that right when we're about to level up, things like this, the tower hits, where like wherever there's faulty scaffolding, that's where the tower hits, and that's where the tower is going to reveal that faulty scaffolding. So the tower is an invitation to look at whatever has happened, like the rubble of, let's visualize this building, right? Like a tower. So the lightning is striking the tower, and wherever it has like degraded a bit, or there was like corners cut, are there going to be the places that crumble? So the invitation of the tower is to look at what has come to like crumble, and whether or not like to rebuild the structure with the lessons learned and the materials left behind, and do it in a stronger way, or take those materials and build a new structure. So that's going to be unique to you and to your experience and your whatever it is that you're going through at this time. So right when we're about to level up, things can all of a sudden like confront us or change, because often with manifestation, right, we can't bring everything. When we're wanting to create more of something, or we're wanting to grow something, get to the next level, like spirit life is going to come in and take away the excess, like trim the fat. And it's not always comfortable. And within Tower energy, there's a lot of letting go. There's a lot of redistribution. There's a lot of organization and like recalibration. So wherever all of those, like these are complex things. So whatever you're experiencing, there's going to be complex responses to it. And that's okay, right? So yeah, just keep that in mind when we're about to level up and get to that next level, and we're like that glow, that push, that shift of gear, that next speed. Things are gonna go wrong a little bit, and just remember you are kingly, and what you've created is strong and can withstand like a shakeup. And ultimately, it's bringing you back to yourself, to your internal home, and to your power, and to your charisma, and to your authenticity. You know, no one does it like you, Leo, right? Like, so take what you want from that. Like the King of Wands knows that they are going to get through it. Like they trust, they feel confident in themselves. They're also very community oriented and protective, fierce, loving. They're very like, you know, it's your energy. You lend your energies to this card, Leo. So that's why I say, like, whatever shifts and changes and how you're finding your footing and like unsteady ground right now is ultimately bringing you even deeper into yourself and reconnecting with you and your gifts, your magic, because, well, the Magician just came out, and your ability to handle like a lot and complexity and juggling and balance and stuff like that, like balancing all of these kind of things. So that's kind of interesting. It's very interesting reading, Leo. So whatever it is that you're putting your effort into building in this world is really something that stems from deep within your heart space, and again is almost legacy oriented. It's you're thinking of yourself and your well-being right now in this moment, as well as you in future moments and generations to come. So again, to the fern knows it has everything it needs to survive. You know that you have everything you need in order to move forward with what it is that you're building, what it is that you want to build, wherever you fall in that. And also is not alone, is surrounded by other ferns, live in their truth, doing their thing, trusting their ability to navigate the experiences of life, however, creating an atmosphere together, creating something like the Fern Grove together, an experience, a community. So, yeah. You've got a lot going on. The Two of Pentacles is all about like balance, things in your environment that you're juggling. There's lots going on. There requires like a lot of attention in regards to keeping all those pots on the stove at the right temperature and getting all the liquids inside stirred and fluffed and steamed to what they need to, because they're all individual, right? So there's going to be a lot of different things that you're managing right now. Again, the Magician has all the tools that they need in order to create. So remember that, Leo, you are a powerhouse. but you are also not alone. Okay. Yeah. So there's more, I think. What else can we understand about the Tower? The world. So the world is all about endings and beginnings, completion, and the expanse of a whole new chapter. It can feel really shocking when things like, it can be really confronting when things come to a natural close or there's a certain evolution you're witnessing. It feels like interesting. Okay, let me like feel into this more. I feel like maybe this is a specific message for someone, but I feel as though there's like an element of like watching if children kind of grow up and come into their own. And the feelings that come up with that, like witnessing that beautiful process, and then also interfacing with them as their grown self, and how that can be quite like almost shocking and confronting in a really, really good way. This feels like, it just feels as almost like an observation of like, whoa, okay, like they're not kids anymore. They're growing and they're grown, and now there's a different way of relating. So that may be a specific message for someone. And the expanse of potential and the exciting nature of a whole new chapter, and getting to know these special people in the chapters they are now, and realizing, whoa, like this is a whole new time, this is a whole new timeline, this is a whole new time frame, same person, but yeah, there's growth. So yeah, I guess again that also kind of plays into legacy, and I feel like that's a very important like overtone of the reading this month is legacy, thinking about your legacy and witnessing yourself leveling up within the creation and with the expression of your legacy. And then with that leveling up, being confronted with things from within the chapters past that need to be addressed in order to, move forth into this whole new chapter. And through this, Leo, there's a reconnection with the deep nature of yourself, like, more and more, like there's things that you're remembering about yourself, and then there's also things that you're learning about yourself, and then there's also things that you've learned that you want to incorporate and like do more of, like there's growth. There's just a lot of growth here. And I keep bringing back to the fern, all the things the fern has probably learned throughout the 400 million years is just probably quite profound, okay? And all the things that you've learned through your life so far is quite profound. And I just heard like that saying, like you can teach a dog, old dog, new tricks. I don't know. You're learning new things too, Leo. Like there's a whole new like veranda. There's a whole new viewpoint. There's a whole new like road opening up where there's so much room to, like, again, shift into the next gear of what it is that you've been working on. And again, this really pulls into like the way that you create your livelihood and how you want to, and all the work that you're putting into is to bring yourself happiness as well as take care of yours in your environment, and ultimately be able to gift this to future generations for those who connect to it. Now, then there's this whole kind of, I don't know if a unique or this is a one message for someone, is that this tower in the world is that within this leveling up and within this expansion, there's a lot that's like crumbling away. There's a lot that's being confronted, revealed. And for some of you, or even one of you, it has to do with witnessing your children or young people around you grow up and grow into their own. Again, the ferns in the grove, right? And like realizing a certain chapter is closed with them, but a whole new chapter is opening as well. So I don't know, it's super cool, Leo. Let's see if there's one last card here. Is there anything else left for Leo? And as you are cooking away at the stove and managing all the different pots of all the different things at all the different levels that they need to be, remember you are a magician. You have all the tools that you need. And you also have people around you, and maybe even people that you didn't even realize were at that level yet, but you see that they are now. And there's this whole new partnership or whole new trajectory of growth with your legacy that you're building and sharing. Is there anything left for Leo? We have the Knight of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. Interesting, Leo, because there's a few messages that are coming through with these cards. But they both, again, link into legacy. This legacy is a response to making sure that you and yours are taken care of financially. And there's a lot of very unique ideas that come from you that are uniquely yours, that you are expressing and enacting right now in order to fortify this legacy in response to making sure that you and yours have what they need materially, financially, and so there's a very much like a fierce drive behind this legacy now that I understand. Like, it is a response to making sure that you can take care of you and yours. And I think that could be happening on multiple different levels depending on your unique experience. I also, the second message that connects again to legacy, but it connects more to over here, the pots on the stove, the magic being enacted right now, is a sharp response to an environmental need. So there's a lot that I'm sensing that is almost like it's pressure, but it's shifting this thing that you've created into the next gear, which is enjoyable, but there's a very real, like, kind of material need at this point. And you're rushing in with your ideas, with your creativeness, with your intellect, and handling it, shifting into gear and responding to this need. And there's a lot of pressure, which is interesting. So there's a bit of a pressure, and I think that that's like, Spirit really wanted to make sure that I touched on that, because that is definitely here with like the Tower, the King of Wands, the King of Pentacles. There's a lot that the kings take care of. There's a lot of the things that the kings are responsible for. And it feels as almost there's like this legacy project, this legacy business, this legacy, whatever it is, this legacy that you're creating is, how do I put this into words? Oh, I just heard it's the safeguard right now. And that's a new thing for this. And it's really proving the mightiness of what it is that you've built, Leo. And like, therefore, it's definitely getting into legacy status at this point. You were responding to a very real need for you and yours through creative, authentic ideas and practices. And you are coming in there and you are like lighting it up. Like the King of Swords, like, is not to be messed with at all. The Five of Pentacles is shifts in your environment. It can be job loss. It can be, moves. It can be like a business shutting down, or a business recalibrating. It can be like, all of those kind of things, like evictions, moves, community moves, house moves, anything that kind of like shifts in your environment that causes like a bit of chaos a bit, and kind of it requires like a lot of resources. And so there can be like a tightness financially involved with this card. With the Knight of Swords, I can sense that you are responding to that need very intellectually and also very innovatively. Again, this legacy is being required to level up in a way that is quite remarkable, and it's like rapid growth. Like, and that's again where the Tower can come in too. Like, there's a shedding, there's an actualization here within you as a person, and with you as a person in your community, and then with you as a person and what you do to create your livelihood and how it takes care of you and yours around you. So within this pressure, there's a lot. Again, I keep seeing all of those pots on the stove. But my gosh, Leo, it is creating a pressure cooker into like your absolute like rapid phoenix like growth into your potential at this time. There's probably just so much happening, and there'll be a time in the future where you'll look back and reflect on this time and really be able to sit with your growth and really be able to witness your growth. So it's amazing. I love you, Leo. You got this. You're powerful. What you're doing is beautiful. I can tell it stems deep from the heart. This is of your own creation, Leo. And now there's a certain pressure to it, but it's proving itself. And as it grows, I just, in I'm seeing kind of like a space rock, and it goes through like the ozone, and it kind of has that tail, right? Like, that's what I'm visualizing with you, Leo, is that there's this like trajectory, and like it's just burning away like the debris and like the atmosphere and sparking and like, but it is getting to where it's going, and it is of like divine origin, you know, like it whatever this is there's a certain calling that you've answered, that you have taken action towards, and there's this co-creation. Anyway, I'm just getting really excited for you because it feels like there's a certain like business that's like taking off or leveling up, and as it does so, like there may be some more financial pressures on it, but it's proving itself, and then some, which means you know you are behind all of that. So give yourself a pat on the back, Leo. I look forward to when we meet and we have that time where we are having a quiet moment, or I tap into your energy when you're having a quiet moment and you're reflecting on this time, because it is profound and there's going to be certain areas of growth that I don't even feel like you even know how to articulate yet, but most likely feel. Okay, well, I love you so much, and again, happy pre-birthday, but I'll see you in your season and we'll celebrate together then, okay?